I tried to adjust my settings on my camera again, but we're feeling spring. Are you guys feeling spring? The weather has been so indecisive today. We had hail, we had a storm, we had just a bit of a sun, you know, so I feel like this is kind of perfect spring to its core. My jean jacket is out. I'm wearing pink underneath. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm feeling good, baby. I'm feeling fine. What's on the curriculum today? Today we're going to be talking about short books, okay? I love a long book. It gives me the opportunity to connect with the characters in a deeper level. It takes me a little bit of time to get into it. The reward that you get from a long book, there is nothing like it. And I feel like lately I've slumped a little bit. I've not been reading as many long books as I would like, probably because I have so many books on my shelf that I want to, you know, get going, and I gravitate towards the shorter books, and that's okay. But since I've been reading a lot of short books, I thought I'd recommend some of them. That some of them you can read in a day, some of them might take you a couple of days. By the way, that's just not, it's just a beautiful lady up there. It's just a painting, okay? I have a list of books that you can read in a day. You can just go out in the sunshine and read it without having to dedicate a lot of time. You just want to have a little bit of fun, or you just want to educate yourself a little bit. Some of these books are deep, in my opinion. Some of these have stayed with me, and I do also have a little stack in here of books that I would like to get into. They're quite short, cute for spring, so let's get into it. These are all books that I have read. Disclaimer, I have not liked all of them, but some of you might do. I'll start with the NYRBs. Great Granny Webster by Carolyn Blackwood. I love this book. I love this book. It's such a short, sharp read. This is how I like to describe this book. Great Granny Webster, she knows who she is, she knows what she wants, and ultimately she'll just go for it. She doesn't give a flying care in the world. She is an established woman. She knows her place in her family. She is the person that runs the family. Her son, her granddaughter, and how each and every one of them, although they don't necessarily love Great Granny Webster, all of them have traits from her, how heavily she's impacted those people in her life. She is a strong woman, very opinionated woman. I would love her for that. Very much inspired by Carolyn Blackwood's own life. So it's kind of semi-autobiographical. That's why she lost the Booker Prize. Yeah, she lost the Booker Prize because Philip Larkin reportedly insisted that a tale so autobiographical could not stand as fiction, which I think makes this book that much more interesting, and I love it. If you want a little bit of drama, read Great Granny Webster. The Vet's Daughter by, oh, she's bright, by Barbara Cummins. I love this cover. I adore this cover. The story, personally, not so much. We had a bit of a magical element to it, which I'm not totally opposed to. Some fiction books have a magical realism to them, and sometimes it ties really well to the story and sometimes it doesn't. And here it did tie to the story, it did make sense, but I just don't, I think it was just a little bit random. Our female main character, she's losing her beloved mother. She is at the mercy of her father. Her father is a horrible man, wants to take advantage of his daughter in one way or another. She is very lonely, so you'll see throughout the story how she's trying to make connections with people that she necessarily might not want to make connections with, but she feels so lonely that in her head she thinks she has to. And then ultimately something happens, and then her father takes advantage of it heavily, and it just, the ending just leaves you with a sense of what the actual. This book made me feel so claustrophobic. This is the best way to put it. I think a lot of people would like this. It was not my favorite, but I'm glad I read it. Let's get into some Penguin classics, modern classics. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I think this is a perfect spring summer read. We have this American man spending some time in Paris. He is engaged to a woman that she is in Spain somewhere, so they're not living together. In the meantime, while he's in Paris, he, you know, forms an affair with another man. Confusion in sexuality takes a toll on the male main character and how he's trying to deal with it, because obviously he's not out yet. We're talking about the 50s in here. Not only affects him, it affects a lot of other people, and that book made me so frustrated, but within a reason, you know. It was a beautiful read. As a queer person, it was a necessary read, although it did make me really frustrated. It's a very necessary book for a lot of people, and especially now that we're approaching spring and summer. These are the settings in this book. It's only about 150 something pages, so it's not that long. And my favorite, I'm just gonna say it now, my favorite from this video, it's this one. This is We Have Always Lived in a Castle by Shirley Jackson. I don't know why I chose this cover. Do I love it? I don't know. I did love it when I bought it, but now I'm just a bit I love Shirley Jackson. If you've been here a while, you know that she's one of my favorite authors. I love this woman, her brain. I just wish I could have a conversation with her. We're following Meerkat and her sister. They're living in a secluded place away from the town by themselves with their uncle. They're the only 3 people that remained from the big family that was years ago, but there was a poisoning that happened. We don't know who did it, but there's a poisoning that happened. There's a lot of speculation on who did it. There's a lot of hate towards these people, but Meerkat and her sister just want to spend time together away from everyone. I just love the element of this book that, you know what, these women just want to be left alone and people will not let them. There's a lot of events that take place during this story that make you really frustrated and you think, oh my god, this is just so unfair, but ultimately I think you should read it. It's very short, very short. It's only like about 160 pages, very easy to read. I think those modern classics, I was so intimidated by them, but they're actually so accessible and so easy to understand and to read, and once you get the grip of it, it flows. It's beautiful. And I think all of Shirley Jackson's books that I've read so far, I'm making my way through them, but none of them disappointed me so far. The Guest by Emma Cline is not as short, but it is kind of short, so this might take you a couple of days. It's personally not my favorite. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's probably my least favorite from this pile, but it's a perfect summer read. To follow this woman, is it Alex? Yes. Oh, I'll never, oh my god. We're following Alex in Long Island, so if you want a Long Island summer, read this, but I'm telling you now, it's not a happy summer. It's a very, what in the world are you thinking, queen? Like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Why are we putting ourselves in this situation that could have easily been avoided? She's dating a rich man that eventually he breaks up with her, but she's so desperate not to get back to her old life that she's willing to do everything to get him back. She'll go to great lengths to get him back, and in the meantime there is this ex-boyfriend, ex-friend of hers that is kind of stalking her, which, you know, just adds to the whole plot. It's a very, you know, drama. If you want tea, read this book. So annoyed with Alex that I think it's worth the read. It might be 260 pages, but because you'll get so annoyed, you want to know what happens, I guess you can finish it in a day. A book that shook me to my core a little bit is Ripe by Sarah Rose Etter. I am not gonna lie, I did read this when I was in a bit of a dark place in my life, and this did not help at all. So if you're in a bit of a dark place in your life, do not read this. I think you have to be in a better mindset to get into this book and not wanting to. This is about corporate nightmare. I was working at Novs at the time, so it kind of like added to it. But if you worked or work in a corporate office world, you will understand this book to its core. I know that Sarah Rose Etter has worked in an office. I can't prove it, but I know that she has from what I've read. It just it all just came together beautifully. She's moved away from her hometown, you know, trying to make a living and a career out of life. She's moved to the big city, I think it's San Francisco, Silicon Valley. This book feels like a knife. There's no other way to explain it. She's clearly unhappy with the life that she's living, but she keeps pushing and pushing, eventually losing interest in the events that are going on in this book. I could not stop reading this book. The way that Sarah Rose Etter wrote this book, the words and the phrases that she was using, I was completely hooked. It might have been a bit of a dark book for me at the time, but it's a book that I can never forget, and I'm so grateful that I read, because this was kind of my introduction to contemporary fiction. I wanted to continue. I've annotated so much in this book. It's just the way that she writes is so relatable. Everyday people, you know, to us, like everyday people that, you know, work a day-to-day job. I think it was beautiful. Just be in a relatively good place. And two books that I spoke a lot about, these books, they're more relevant right now because of the International Booker Prize. Two nominees for the long list that they're quite short, but I feel like they are very important. He Who Remains by Renee Karabash. This has been translated from the Bulgarian by Isidora Angel. Essentially, this woman, in my head, this has a bit of magical realism to it again, and I'm not mad at it, okay? I'm not mad. This woman essentially hates being a woman so much because of the social norms and religion, and you know what, no, I take it back. She doesn't hate being a woman. She hates the way that women are treated within this society, with religion and sexism and misogyny and just all that comes with it, that she's so desperate to escape from it that she becomes a man. Now, how she doesn't transition from what I got. She kind of goes to the church and she casts a spell, if I remember correctly. It's just a bit different. I loved the story in this, and their themes of friendship as well, and how she just, you know, lost some people in her life that she eventually found again after all this time, and is she gonna get those people back? And it was just beautiful. It did have queer themes in it, which I loved. I did not expect it, but it was such a pleasant surprise. Only thing I'm gonna say with this is the writing. It was just so weird. So the author will just put like the smallest chapters on earth, which is fine by me. I don't mind a small chapter. She will just not use any capital letters or any full stops, or it would just be like very streamy of consciousness, like I'm just trying to read her thoughts, like she's journaling and I'm reading her journal. This is the vibe it gave me, so I had to go back sometimes and reread certain parts, which is fine. But the story of it was beautiful. It was very sad, but very kind of, you know, I get it. And last but definitely not least, we have Women Without Men by Sahanush Parsipour. If you saw my last two videos, you know that Penguin very kindly sent this to me. My first book mail, by the way, and I'm gonna keep going on and on about it because this is a very important milestone for me. I have very mixed feelings about this book, and I did talk about this book in my last video. This book gave me anger and frustration, then it gave me hope, then it kind of disappointed me a little bit again in the end. It was a very complex book. It did have a lot of magical realism to it, which in this specific one I did not love. I may have missed some, you know, points that the author was trying to make, and that's okay. I'm reading it from my point of view, and I'm gonna miss something, I'm gonna understand something differently from someone else, and that's the beauty of reading. I really like this story. We follow 5 different women that they all get verbally and physically and mentally abused by men. They reach a point that they just want to escape all that. It's 5 different women from 5 different families. A couple of them know each other, so they're kind of like traveling together and eventually end up in this beautiful big house owned by one of those women with a beautiful garden. You're starting to get full of hope. It is set in older times in Iran, so you know that it's hard for these women to, you know, break out of that how to even explain it without getting so angry. This topic makes me really angry, and I could talk about it for hours, but I'm gonna try and stay calm. It is a very important read, in my opinion, what these women go through. I did not love the ending. All circles back to the thing that we're trying to avoid in the first place a little bit, not fully. It's a very weird book. I do think it has a lot of interpretations. I do think it can be interpreted differently by every single person that reads it, which is beautiful. The story itself, I think it was very impactful, and the author's backstory, that's just what amazed me so much, and I wanted to read this book in the first place. The author was imprisoned for 5 years by the Islamist government without being formally charged. Shortly after her release, she published Women Without Men and was arrested and jailed again, this time for her frank and defiant portrayal of women's sexuality. What? Okay. While still banned in Iran, the novel became an underground bestseller there and has been translated into many languages around the world. So the power, okay, the power of a book and of women wanting to find something to relate to break free from society and everything that's been making them smaller for years and years and years. I think it's just beautiful that, you know, it was still an underground bestseller, although it has been banned. People still found a way to read this book, which, oh my god, I love this so much. Okay, she lives in exile in Northern California, and Saharnush Parsiport, thank you for doing what you do, for speaking up. Thank you for being a voice for women. I think it's a very important book to read, and although it wasn't my favorite in some parts of like the magical realism and all that, but as a story overall, I think it was beautiful and impactful, and I just wish the ending was a little bit different, but I think she does have a reason why she ended the things the way she did. I'm also gonna give some ideas because these are quite short as well. The Anthropologist by Ayşegül Savaş. I've not read anything by her. She's a Turkish author, but I really want to get into her writing. Her writing feels summer for some reason to me. The blurb feels just spring and summer, so I really want to read that. New one by Vigdis Hjorth, Repetition. This cover is just gorgeous. She's from Norway. Very short. It has a lot of drama. Orlando by Jacqueline Hartman. This has been on my TBR for a while. I don't think I intend to read Orlando by Virginia Woolf, which this book was originally inspired by, but I do really want to read Orlando. Just sexually adventurous, quiet and controversial. Oh yes, yes, just give me some controversy. NYRB by John Steinbeck, another modern classic. I love modern classics. I'm obsessed. I really want to get into John Steinbeck. I really want to get into East of Eden. I don't know if it's the right time for me to get East of Eden right now, but I've heard there is an adaptation coming out soon, around maybe summertime, and I do want to read the book before summertime because I feel like the book feels like summertime. I've heard that once you're in it, you're sucked in, you just can't get out, and it's very easy to read, very understandable, and I want to read it. It's a family saga. I love family saga. I love family drama. So saying all that, I got kind of NYRB because it's a lot shorter and it just sounds very intriguing. It's just underground California. Okay, it's California. And some little penguin books. We have the Penguin Little Black Classics, Flush by Virginia Woolf. This is biography of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's pet spaniel, so we're following the POV of a spaniel. I don't know about you, but this sounds just a delight to me. Penguin modern little ones. We have Kathy Acker, New York City in 1979. That is just the shortest book ever. It does have some pictures in it as well. The Empire State Building. And it's about New York, and I really don't care, but anything that's got New York in it, I'm sold. You know my obsession and my love and my appreciation for New York, and it's a place that I think about constantly. Since I've been there last year, I am insufferable. even to myself. And also The Veiled Woman by Anais Nin. These are the two ones that I have. This is very sexual, I think. This is more of an erotica type of book, and someone said it's a queer one, women loving women, and sold. And those are my recommendations. So excited for spring. Spring is probably my favorite season. I've realized that I like summer, but sometimes summer is insufferable. But spring, when the sky is blue and you feel the breeze and in your face and your body, but it's kind of like a warm breeze, but not too warm, not too cool. It's a nice perfect temperature breeze, and you're out reading by the sun. There's no better feeling than that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Have an amazing day. You deserve it, queen. You deserve it, diva. Bye, divas. Love you.